Hey, what up everybody, I'm Sinnycool, and this is Gems of War on PS4, and today we're going to be going over the raid team to go deeper into raids and get all of the rewards, and help your guild out and do your part. Before we do that though, I'd like to, ask y'all to say a prayer for somebody. We got another member, his name is Hugh. He also goes by X, I think, Luong, but his name, he asked me to call him Hugh, so shout out to you, Hugh. Thank you for becoming a member, a tier 2 member, by the way, so extra thanks, man. I really appreciate it. It helps out the channel more than this AdSense pennies. Like, it really helps out. So if anybody else wants to join, become a member. We have like 8 people now as members. We almost got that football team, so 3 more. We got the football team. Come in, join for as low as $1.99. Just hit join. There's a link in the description. So enough of that, but thanks again, Hugh. Really appreciate it. Alright, here is our raid team. And I'm flinging around the remote. Sorry, I had to check my audio because I was flinging around my headset like an idiot. But yeah, thanks again, Hugh. Pray for him. He became a sinner, so that's why we're praying for him, by the way. Yeah, so here's the team. And I'm going to quit jerking my head around like an idiot. Excited about Hugh joining on tier 2. It's the same team, I'm sorry, but it works. It works late. I don't know what else we could use. I looked into it later on, and I can't find anything else that's better. I tried Earth's Fury, Mang, Trickster Shot, all that. There's not really a mana generator besides Mercy and these gargoyles, so I'm using the gargoyles. This is still an early battle here, just to show how effective it is early, and then we get into later battles. And the other thing that it does well is towards the end of the raids, patience will start not one-shotting the boss, and the gargoyle can clean it up by hitting the 3rd troop. Usually with the gargoyles, you're going to hit like the 2nd troop and then the 3rd or 4th troop, depending on if they die or not. And when you hit that 3rd or 4th troop, you're going to clean up Zul'Goth, the boss. So it's really working well, plus the explosion you get from the 2 gargoyles and the mountain crusher. It's been working out. The only thing I changed up to help it go deeper is I changed to Titan, counterattack, Thunder Fist, Storm Aura, Rock Solid, Stone Mastery just to help our brown mana, and Fortitude. So changed it to Titan. I know I need to use some different classes. Titan's just so easy when I'm doing an event and I'm deep in an event. Like, there's certain times to experiment with other classes and there's certain times not to, and this is one of those times not to. Just make sure you get Titan to 100 so you can use it when you need to. It's just a tool that you have that you need to use for certain things. Like, you wouldn't use a TV to dig a hole in your backyard, right? So, we're going to use the shovel. We're going to use the Titan. So, yeah, we got our Mountain Crusher with Titan, so we can have that barrier, that dust storm, that immunity. Then we got a Gargoyle. It's going to do a lot of the damage to the first 3 troops based on its strength, and then it explodes gems also. And then we got Patience, gonna do just the boss damage basically, and that's it. And then we have another gargoyle to clean up and help the other gargoyle, and also explode a couple gems. So it's working. It works the whole time. I know I should have, you guys probably want to see a different team than I showed yesterday. It's slightly different. I put Patience down 1 slot because gargoyles have armor, so they're armored. They have skull mitigation, or whatever you want to say. Excuse me. Clear my throat. So if you happen to lose your hero late in the late battles, when Zul'Goth's like over level 200 or 300 or 400, then you'll have a strong gargoyle that's not going to get hit too hard. And I also show here that I bought up to tier 6 because I wanted to get my patience to Mythic, and I'm not going to use a blue orb, but if you have a blue orb and you're not going for Zul'Goth, using a blue orb is probably a better idea than what I did. I'm constantly wasting gems on these videos because I want to show you like the best possible team that I can make, and go as far as I can to show you guys just that the team can make it and all that. And so I always buy up until, especially like with these, you have to buy to a certain point to get your troop to mythic, so it does the most damage that it can to the boss. So it makes you kind of buy up to a certain point. But I'm gonna start taking my tribute more often. That's what you can do to get more gems in this game. You just take your tribute more often. And you also level up your kingdom level and power as much as possible, which entails a bunch of other things, which I might make a video on. But yeah, so this team, you know, you got your enchant potion, you got your explode potion. That gets you most of the way up on all your troops to start with. Then you usually you'll fire off like a gargoyle on the second enemy. That way it hits the second, the first, and the third with the splash damage. Then your patience will get up with her enchant, and you'll hit the boss. Depending how far along you are, it'll either one shot or take them down to like 100 health, or lower. And then you'll use your second gargoyle on probably the third enemy, which will take out the Zul'Goth and the rest of the enemies. And if it doesn't, then you use your Mountain Crusher, you get everything back up, and you do it again. So it's not that hard. Not that hard to figure out. The gargoyle does splash damage. It does targeted damage, and then it splashes out to the two enemies to the top and bottom of it. So you shoot it at the enemy with the most health, and then take out two with least the lower health. Or you shoot it at two if it's fresh battle. That way you can hit 1, 2, and 3, because your patience is going to be hitting the boss and doing a ton of damage to it. So you might as well let her do that, and then you can do like the cleanup afterwards. So as you can see, shot at the second enemy. Used our Mountain Crusher because nothing else was up. That helps you get everything else up. Got Mountain Crusher again. We got everything. So we'll go ahead and do patience and start taking out this boss so he doesn't one-shot us with his spell. Now we hit 3. That kills Zul'Goth and 3, and almost takes out 2 as well. So then we hit 1 and we take everybody out. Pretty easy. One time that we're not using Mang, Earth's Fury, or Trickster Shot for once. So I think that's pretty cool. I get tired of using the same weapons. So, Mountain Crusher is probably not a good example because it is like a weapon that's used a lot. But for like this specific event, for raids and invasions, usually you're using Mang, Earth's Fury, or Trickster Shot every single time. So it's nice to use something different, even if it is Mountain Crusher, like the most used other weapon in the game. I was trying to figure out something else, but nothing else really matched good with it. Like, we got a Dust Storm, so Mountain Crusher works good with that because it explodes more, like more brown's going to be on the board, so it's going to explode more brown. The Dust Storm keeps making more brown come on the board, so when you cast your Mountain Crusher, it's going to do more mana generation because there's going to be more brown to explode. And then, your gargoyles use brown, and there's like not much else you could do. You could use like Essence of Evil maybe, or Anu's Scepter, or Jar of Eyes, or something like that. But I don't know. You could mess around with that if you really are desperate you're just so bored with Mountain Crusher and you need something else. You could try those other things. You could try Essence of Evil, Anu's Scepter, stuff like that. I don't know about Jar of Eyes. That might not be the best. But it explodes brown. Same thing. I don't know why you would use that instead of Mountain Crusher, but maybe to have a summon, that way in case you get in trouble. But other than that, there's really not a lot of mana generators in this kingdom that I could find anyway. Like, there's Mercy. You could use a Mercy to fill up patience, and then you would get faster boss kills, but then you're going to be lacking on the other damage with the other enemies, which there's 3 of. Like, if you take out Zul'Goth, you still got to deal with the other 3. and your patience is gonna not take him out very fast. She's designed to only take out Zul'Goth. Then you could do like a Mang and 2 patience and something, but then you still need a mana generator. This Mang is not a mana generator, and patience is not a mana generator. So somewhere in there you gotta find a mana generator. There really isn't one. There's Mercy. I mean, maybe you can find one. Put your team in the comments. That's what I always say. That way if people for some reason don't have these easy to get troops that can go all the way. Easy to get troops that can go all the way. Mountain Crusher, Gargoyle. All you have to have open is the Underworld and Hall of Guardians, and you can throw Chaos Shards at Hall of Guardians and get Gargoyles. You have to, I don't know what level you have to be for that, but if you're at least level 300-400, you should easily be able to get a Gargoyle. At least 1 or 2. And then Patience is just, gems. Hopefully you save your gems that you get from your guild at the beginning of the week. Your guild, like, how your guild puts in a bunch of gold at the beginning of the week and you get a bunch of tasks done and you get all these rewards on Monday. That's what you use on the event. They're doing that so you have some gems to use on the event. They're not doing that just to give you gems to open up chests. You're supposed to use the guild tasks that everybody contributes to do this event, so you can get more resources, more rewards all together. You throw that back into the guild. You don't just go blow it on whatever, armor and chests and stuff. You don't keep it for yourself. You use it on the event. So if you're in a guild that's like, a mid-tier guild that gets a certain amount of tasks done, but you still get a decent amount of gems on Monday, you get a decent amount of like gold chests, keys, and then you open those and you get some more gems, you get glory, you get everything you get from guild tasks. There's gonna be a certain amount of like gems you get that you should spend back on the guild. Reinvest in the guild, because they're giving you free gems by getting the guild tasks done. 29 other people, or however many you got, putting into those guild tasks so you can get gems and gem keys and all that other stuff. You need to reinvest it back in your guild. So that's what you should use that for, is to do this event, because you're going to get more out of it in the end. You're going to get these rewards, you're going to get these orbs, you're going to get more gems from doing the event. Make it so you come out a little bit ahead. You don't have to do too much. Make sure you take care of you first, but also reinvest in the guild and the event, the raid event. So the guild tasks you get on Monday, everything you get from that, you should reinvest some of that back into the raid event. That way you can get more rewards from finishing out the raid event, or however far you get with your guild. If it's, whatever, stage 7, stage 8, 10, whatever. You're going to get some of that. You're going to get a lot of those gems back, maybe even come out ahead. But that's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to just save them up and do like only the free battles, and you're supposed to like reinvest them. I don't know, I thought I'd talk about something different, because this team is fairly simple and we already like used it the other day. All I did was put Patience in 3rd slot because Gargoyle is more armored than her, and she doesn't get blocked by Gargoyle at all. She's purple and yellow, so they're brown and red. Doesn't get blocked at all. Might as well put her in 3rd instead of 2nd. And then I changed Mountain Crusher to Titan, so our hero is now Titan. I'm not gaining any more class experience, but I'm more protected with the barrier, with the dust storm coming through, with the immunity on level 100. So we can't be devoured or death marked or any of that junk. We get a barrier, that way they can't skull us to death. We get a dust storm so we can get more explosions going with our Mountain Crusher, and more mana for our Gargoyles and Mountain Crusher. And then Patience is going to take out the boss. Gargoyle is going to clean up the boss. Gargoyle is going to take out the first 3 enemies. You shoot on 2. You shoot Patience on the boss. You shoot Gargoyle on 3 or 4, whatever has more health, and you clean up. Cast Mountain Crusher if you need it. But yeah, I wish I had a different team for y'all. This is slightly different, but not really. It's the same 4 troops. But this was working. Like, if it's working, I'm not going to switch to something else just to switch. you know? If it's working, it's working. And these are easy to get troops. Not too hard. There's no mythics in here. There's no crazy doom weapon or mythic weapon. It's Mountain Crusher. Patience you get but just buying with gems right now. But yeah, I definitely looked. I'm not like just making crap up. And I know people send me teams, but I can't copy paste teams. So if you're sending me teams on like my YouTube page, or even on PS4, I can't copy paste them into this. So I would have to literally write them down and then manually type them in to get these teams. So you're gonna have to tell me like what the troops are instead of just giving me numbers. If you want to help me, I really appreciate it, because I know it shouldn't be that hard. It's all my fault, obviously. It's all my fault that I can't copy paste that. It's because I don't play on PC. I'm an idiot or something. I can't figure out how to copy paste onto the PS4. I tried. I clicked the options button. I click on it. Usually you just hold it in or click the option button and it lets you copy stuff. For some reason on my PS4 Messenger, it won't let me copy from that into Gems of War. So if you can explain to me how to do that, then I will start doing it. But otherwise, please just give me the troop names and like the class and the weapon. Just tell me, just write it out, I guess. I know it's annoying, but say Mountain Crusher Gargoyle, Patience Gargoyle. Just type that in instead of all those numbers, because I can't copy paste into Gems of War from PS4 Messenger. I can't copy paste from my laptop into my PS4. It's not working. I can't do this. I appreciate all the teams and keep doing it, even if it's not for me, it's for the other people watching. So it doesn't mean it's not that I'm not grateful. I am. I really appreciate the teams, even the numbers that I can't use. I appreciate it, because other people can use it. They can copy paste from their PC to their PC. It's a lot easier than doing it from PC laptop that sucks into PS4 that's loud jet engine. I know neither of those things have anything to do with anything, but whatever. Anyway, we're still using the same team. It works though, so sorry about that. Like, share, subscribe. Shout out to Hugh. Really appreciate it, man. Hope I helped y'all out. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.